Episode 5 of Maestra, Strings of Truth begins with Jung Jae confronting Seum about Remington's disease as everyone on stage waits for her arrival. She gets on stage and conducts a successful performance. Afterwards, he asks her to take the test. But hope keeps her going and she'd rather not know. Later, her calm demeanor breaks as she threatens her mother's doctor for breaking patient confidentiality. As she leaves, she spots her mother, Yoonghwa, and hides, but not before she sees Seum too. A flashback shows Yoonghwa as a celebrated violinist. Her memory starts fading and she hallucinates. Once, she calls Seum a monster and chokes her. At school, there are rumors that Phil is to be the art director of the Yeonsung International Music Festival. His celebration is halted as the detectives question him about the breaks. Stunned, he apologizes to Ae-jin for accusing her. She thinks Seum messed with her car, but he doesn't believe her. She declares he will never be a part of her child's life and tells him to leave. Meanwhile, Seum has a nightmare of her baton falling at rehearsal and Ae-jin laughing. Jung Jae uses her secret to threaten her into having a meal. She tries to leave, but he runs with her back to his car so he can drop her to work. She gives in but is silent the whole time. At the studio, Taeho watches them. Inside, Seum worries about Jung Jae revealing her secret and her nightmare. Meanwhile, he looks up top neurologists to cure her. Ae-jin returns to rehearsals but just keeps glaring at Seum. She also enjoys the attention as everyone wonders if she really had an affair, but an annoyed Runa tells her to stop playing games. Ae-jin tries to threaten Seum to toe the line, but the latter just points out that if Ae-jin reveals her affair, she will become a homewrecker. As for Phil, he tears the divorce papers while looking at the ultrasound. Elsewhere, Bonju's mother frees him in hopes of helping him situate abroad. But once he is alone, he runs off. It is revealed that Taeho is Jung Jae's cousin and is spying on Seum for him. However, he is curious as to why Jung Jae is so overtly obsessed with her. Meanwhile, Ura, Jung Jae's ex-wife, gets Han-gil, his right-hand man, to greenlight a documentary on Seum and Phil. She also confesses that she is doing it to annoy Jung Jae. She takes the proposal to Han-Phil where Seum refuses. However, Phil is all for it and believes he can sway her. On her way out, Ura runs into Jung Jae bringing snacks for Seum. She claims that the couple have agreed to her documentary. She also warns him that he and Seum will look like adulterers if he keeps chasing her. He looks troubled as he goes back home with the snacks undelivered. To convince Seum, Phil arranges a meal with her father. Once they drop off Mr. Cha, she tries to leave. He stops her by declaring that he won't divorce her. He also reveals that he knows about Yoonghwa's Remington's disease and has been keeping the secret only because he is her husband, hinting that he will reveal it if she divorces him. Upset by his threat, Seum ransacks her room and tears his proposal gift, the music sheets. Jung Jae is thinking about Taeho and Ura's words on how his actions may ruin Seum's reputation when she visits him. She sends the photos he has of Phil and Ae-jin to Phil's school. He is fired and she lets him know it was her. It is the consequence of his threat and she tells him to sign the divorce papers or she will go public. At the next rehearsal, Jung Jae watches her with concern as she suddenly halts when she thinks a drop of water has fallen on her. She recalls her mother's hallucinations and gets scared. However, the sprinkler goes off and she cries out of relief. As she takes stock of the damage to the instruments, Phil arrives with Seum's mother at the end of Maestra, Strings of Truth Episode 5. The episode review. Maestra, Strings of Truth Episode 5 makes us root for Jung Jae as he seems to be the lesser of two evils. In fact, he is like a little kid who doesn't know how to show his affection, but he does care. Unlike a certain husband. Using her mother, father, and her secret, really, Phil? That's a cheap shot and a surefire way to get someone to hate you. Only someone like him can get two amazing women and lose both of them. He is getting worse by the minute and making Jong Jae look like a saint. As for the mystery aspect, is there more to Taeho, or is he just a Nepo kid? Or is it Runao who messed with A-Jin's car? It also seems that Bonju's storyline is far from over. More secondary characters are getting a bigger role, such as Ura and Yoonghwa, which means the drama is going to increase doublefold.